This video expounds on the importance of balancing task-oriented leadership and relationship-oriented leadership to achieve success as a leader. Before continuing, pause this video and take the task versus relationship self-assessment located in Blackboard. It is better to assess yourself before you learn specifics about the topic so that bias in assessing yourself is reduced. The objectives of this video are to explain the task and relationship styles of leadership and describe how each leadership style can be used in everyday work practices. Now, pause this video and answer the question shown on the slide. Are you more work-oriented or people-oriented? Do you find more rewards in the process of getting things done or the process of relating to people? Let's understand task-oriented leadership and relationship-oriented leadership. Obviously, we all have unique habits. These habits and mindsets determine what we believe, how we think, how we address problems, interact with each other, make decisions, take action, and lead. Similarly, we have unique balances of task and relationship-oriented behaviors. All of us exhibit a blend of both task and relationship behaviors in leadership, but most of us prefer one style over the other. Task-oriented people are goal-oriented. They want to achieve. Their work is where they find meaning. Setting and reaching a goal are positive expressions of who they are. You may observe that a task-oriented person, rather than being late for an established meeting because someone interrupted them in the hallway, will tell that person that they are running off to a meeting but will get back to them at a particular time. Conversely, relationship-oriented people find meaning in being rather than doing. Instead of seeking out tasks, relationship-oriented people want to connect with others. They have strong orientation in the present and find meaning in the moment. Relationship people will be late for an established meeting because someone interrupted them in the hallway and they engage that person rather than rushing off to be on time for a meeting. Each of these styles affect how we lead. On the task versus relationship leadership continuum, effective leadership falls in the middle of the continuum between task and relationship orientation. This is representative of the need to have a balance of the two orientations and being aware of the need to switch and flex at the appropriate times and in situations that require each style. There are clearly times when we as leaders must be more task-oriented versus more relationship-oriented. Let's take a more detailed look at task-oriented leadership. Task leadership behaviors facilitate goals and accomplishment, getting things done. Here, the leader initiates structure by organizing work, defining responsibilities, and scheduling work activities. Task-oriented leaders engage in production orientation, which stresses the production and technical aspects of the job. The focus is on how the job will be done. They have concern for production, which includes policy decisions, new product development, workload, sales volume, and any other things the organization is seeking to accomplish. Leaders will always be required to exhibit some degree of task behavior. If they don't, things don't get done, and goals are often not reached, which means revenue or money is not made, and the end customer or their constituents are not satisfied. Now let's take a more detailed look at relationship-oriented leadership. Relationship leadership behaviors help followers feel comfortable with themselves, with each other, and with the situation. They help members of the group feel included, needed, and valued or important to the organization or the group. Relationship-oriented leaders exhibit the following behaviors: consideration, a focus on the employee, and concern for people. Consideration builds camaraderie, respect, trust, and regard between leaders and followers and among followers. An employee orientation or focus on employees involves taking an interest in workers as human beings, valuing their uniqueness, and giving special attention to their personal needs. Finally, a concern for people involves building trust, providing good working conditions, maintaining a fair salary structure, and promoting good social relations. Relationship leadership behavior is about three things: treating followers with dignity and respect, building relationships and helping people get along, and making the work setting a pleasant place to be. So, who or how do you want to be relative to task and relationship leadership? Task and relationship leadership behaviors are inextricably tied together. One of the challenges of a leader is to integrate the two orientations in a way that is optimal and that produces the best results for the organization and its constituents. Understanding your personal styles of work and play can provide a better recognition of your leadership. When you are most uncomfortable in either style, when you must develop more in either area, but also situations when your followers require that you be agile and shift from one style to the other or exhibit both styles simultaneously for greater success as a leader. There then is the crux of the matter. Can we be task oriented when we need to be, but relationship oriented when we need to be also? Pause the video and write your reflective answers to the following. Based on the results of your task versus relationship self-assessment, if you are a mostly task-oriented person, reflect on how you might integrate more relationship orientation into your style. Reflect on the importance of doing so. If you are mostly relationship oriented, reflect on how you might integrate a more task orientation into your style and reflect on the importance of doing so. Also consider what is the value in balancing task and relationship leadership abilities. Again, write your reflection. There will be times when we find it important to increase either our task orientation or relationship orientation. Becoming more task oriented involves directing the team's and individuals' actions, telling team members what, how, when, and who is to complete a task, setting specific goals and organizing their completion, establishing timelines and following through on promises for delivery, directing and controlling when appropriate, providing immediate constructive feedback, and being unafraid to take corrective action and discipline staff. Becoming more relationship-oriented involves giving more support to workers, communicating more freely, facilitating interactions within the team, actively listening to concerns, providing more feedback, and not reacting to situations without seeking information first. There are some inherent challenges to each orientation. Too much of something often does not produce good or the desired results. The problems associated with being too task-oriented include communication is one way downwards from the manager. There is little or no feedback from staff. The staff do not have a voice. Numbers rule. In other words, decisions are made solely on data rather than the consideration of the human element. People don't get developed and may lose interest in their job. Results are short-lived. Turnover of staff may be unacceptably high, and no manager, no results. What will people do when the task-oriented manager is not there? Problems associated with being too relationship-oriented include the manager may be too involved with people's problems, not result-oriented and have a greater potential to miss targets. Staff members see you as one of them as and not as a manager. It could be difficult to reprimand staff as relationship issues override task issues. Quality oriented rather than volume oriented. The manager is more inclined to procrastinate and is prone to complacency. One can see how a healthy balance of the two orientations and at the right times is important to the success of the leader. Effective leaders recognize and adapt to followers' needs. As a final exercise, pause the video and answer these questions. What kind of leader is needed when followers feel uncertain about their role and responsibility and want tasks to be clarified? What kind of leader is needed when followers want to be affiliated or connected to others more than they want direction? This video expounded on the importance of balancing task-oriented leadership and relationship-oriented leadership. What must you do to balance task orientation and relationship orientation to achieve greater success as a leader?